All right, what is good, YouTube? What is good? What is good? All right, so I wanted to do a video on how to avoid a choppy market. All right, so how I do that is I use the 15-minute ORB. All right, I use the 15-minute range to know whether to take a trade or not. Today, I did not take a trade, and I'm gonna show you why. All right, so I like to mark the high of the first 15-minute candle and the low of the first 15-minute candle. All right, so this is the range. All right. If you'd have got in calls, you would have made some money. You would have definitely made some money. This is the first 15-minute candle right here. As you can tell, we were hanging out inside of this range for a lot of the day. We were just kind of coming inside of here, had a trouble right here. The market was selling and just kind of hovering right here, not really breaking out. Tried to right here, and then it just completely failed. Came back to this low and then just chopped sideways. I mean, if you got caught holding the bag today, if you did a zero DTE and you were in calls, you definitely was hoping. You were definitely hoping. But if you played this part right here, this first little up move right here, let's go to the 5 minute. This is exactly how I would have it drawn up. This is a low point, low point. So you got this one right here as support. Pretty much when it broke this, it was pretty much done. And then we'll put this one in white. Let's go ahead. This is the right here. This one really told you that as soon as you broke this downtrend, it was pretty much a wrap. So if you were in calls, you knew to exit right when you got this candle right here. So you might have been up pretty good, but then right here was definitely the market saying, hey, we're breaking. You might want to get out and possibly coming down here to support. So if it didn't bounce off of this, once we fell below this orange line right here and didn't go back higher, you knew the market was definitely turning around. Let's go to the hour chart. So you had the first hour was bullish, and then this second hour right here was bearish, and then you had 1, 2, 3, 4 hours of bearish activity. All right. So once you broke the low of this candle right here, put entry on the hour, it triggered it. It would try to pop up again, but then when it came back here and failed, this right here, it just kind of flushed right here. Got up underneath this, put entry right on the hour, flushed, pop back up, buyer stuck and chop all day. All right, let's check the 4 hour. Okay, so the 4 hour, which you have right here is an inside candle, which is a one candle. Anytime you see this right here, it's chop. I mean, you had this was the high point right here at 775, and this was the low point, 771. You were stuck inside this candle, and if you're trying to do a zero DTE, it's all bad from there because this was stuck definitely in a range that you didn't want to be a part of. So this is the 4 hour candle, and then you had this right here as support, and they pretty much maintain this support for the time being. Now you just have to wait to see if this actually is going to break to the downside or the upside, and then try to take out this next candle low and this next candle high. So we just have to wait and see. That's on the 4 hour. Anytime you see the market just hanging out inside that first 15-minute range, is not really creating that separation. Like I said, draw the top line of that, and then the bottom line of that 15-minute ORB. And like I said, if it's just having a hard time keeping itself up, you can use the VWAP. We have some separation. Think of the VWAP like this. That's the volume weighted average price. It's like a rubber band, like there's a stretch and it likes to snap back to it, right? So right here, it bought above. If you was really good scalping, you'd have got some calls right here. This has been a nice up move for you. But then right here, when it came back to this VWAP, and then it just kind of stayed on top of this VWAP, that's another sign of the market being very, very choppy. And then it was still hanging out inside of this 15-minute ORB. Very, very choppy day. No big move at all. And let's look at the daily candle compared to the other days as well. So let's delete all of this. And this is exactly how you can compare. You can compare like all these other candles right here to the other days. A bigger candle right here, bigger candle right here, bigger candle right here. That's more volatility. Small candle, not much going on. Last Monday was an exception, but this Monday, back to normal program. If you go and back test all the Mondays for the last 6 months, you can see a lot of the times, like, you know, how big the candles are, how small the candles are. I like to sometimes not trade on Monday, most times, just because that's the start of the week and we don't really have much data. Unless you get news that drop or anything like that, it's just kind of tough. But this right here is some gaps to the downside. This is a gap zone. Let's edit this, extend left, turn it off. So this is a daily fair value gap zone. And then this is another one right underneath that. And then you have a third one right underneath this. So you have 3 gap zones. Anywhere in here to me is a buy. So I'm waiting because I'm expecting price to pull back a little bit and then go higher. But they might not give us the pullback that we want. They can continue higher because the market is going to do what the market is going to do. Another thing I like to do, just to give y'all a nugget, I like to connect the lows. Anytime you get a nice push to the upside, let's see if we can connect this right here. All right. So all I'm doing is connecting this low and this low. This candle low and this candle low. And that gives me another area that they can kind of pull back to and kind of use this line of support. So, or they can break it temporarily, come back and go higher. And then you have this upside resistance now. Boom. Just connecting the highs. So we have this as resistance, this as support. And will we break above this? We'll see. Will we break below this? We'll see. Another thing I want to do is connect this high. Boom. Boom. This is a range and we can get as high as this next resistance line. Let's turn that white and let's see if we can get there. We'll see. We definitely have some data that we need to wait on this week, and hopefully that'll open up the market a lot more. But yeah, this is exactly how I avoid a choppy market, and you can literally use this every time to avoid playing in the market or with any ticker that you're following. This works for everything. So just mark the first 15-minute candle of the high and the low, and boom, you're good to go. You know what range to not play in. So anytime you see that, you know to take a chill pill. Let the market show its hands. Don't try to force it. But other than that, I appreciate y'all checking out the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to join the group, SPS Blueprint, please click that link in the description. You are more than welcome. Other than that, I'll see y'all on the next trade. Peace.